A school is a community dedicated to learning and to helping students grow into responsible citizens. A classroom community doesn't automatically motivate students to cooperate. Teachers and administrators have to create the conditions for cooperative communities to exist. Cooperative discipline creates these conditions with the encouragement strategies that build self-esteem and the collaboration strategies that invite teachers and students and parents to work together to solve discipline problems.
When students choose to misbehave, they are trying to satisfy real legitimate needs in inappropriate ways. To keep misbehavior from continuing or even escalating, teachers need to use strategies that show students that their message is heard. So in addition to using the intervention strategies to stop misbehavior, we have to use the encouragement strategies to show students that they can satisfy their needs through appropriate behavior. When we encourage students, we help them feel capable, connected, and contributing. Students need to feel capable of completing tasks in a manner that meets the standards of the school. Students need to believe they can connect successfully with teachers and classmates. And students need to know they can contribute to the group in a significant way.
Capable, connected, contributing. Important words in the character-building process of education. But just what can teachers do to help students feel capable?
Angela, it's okay if your paper's not perfect. Give yourself some credit for how much effort you put into it.
Man, I feel stupid when I'm having trouble finishing an assignment, and the teacher says it's easy. Mr. Johnson never does that.
Man, this stuff is really hard. I'm having a problem with it.
You're right, it is hard. But you keep working at it. I know you can do it.
I work hard for teachers who believe in me, who give me credit for knowing something.
John, I wanted to let you know that the report that you did on the space shuttle was really, really interesting and full of fascinating facts. You did a great job on it. Was wondering, are you willing to work with the group that's doing the space exhibit for the science fair?
Sure.
That would be really, really exciting, I think. What's going on here? What are you doing?
All right, this is like basically my rocket's east, right? So.
When I get stuck on a math problem, my teacher reminds me of how good I did on another assignment.
Here, take your time. Relax, I'm not rushing you. Remember when you got stuck last week and you took your time, you kept working at it, you figured it out? Just relax.
I got the teacher who keep a record book for each kid in class. When she told me she check enough skill I learned, it made me feel like I'm getting somewhere.
As you know, in this record book, I'm going to be checking off all the skills that you've learned so you can see how much progress you've made. Here are your parts of speech. You mastered nouns, adverbs.
Would you believe that when I finally learned all the characters in my Greek mythology, Mr. Ramirez had the class give me a standing ovation?
No, Denise, this is your moment. Let's hear it for Denise.
In addition to feeling capable, kids also need to feel connected. It's been said that kids don't care what you know until they know that you care. When we use the connect strategies, we demonstrate that we care.
Hey, Thomasina, I thought about you yesterday. I heard that song on the radio that you were talking about. What's the name of that group again?
Hey, Michael, you were right on about last week's game. You got that one right. Do you have any predictions for this week?
Yeah. Athens drive 21-0 over Leesville.
21 zip, huh? Well, I hope your crystal ball is still clear this week. That would be nice.
Oh, thanks. You know, Anthony, I want to thank you very much for helping me pick up after class, because it really gets me ready for the next group. All right, that's the end of that. There. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Hey, you ladies are doing a fine job. This is great. I think everybody's going to like this. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Acceptance, attention, appreciation, affirmation. All necessary ingredients to keep a student feeling connected to the classroom community. But as in any community, members feel most valued and like they belong when they know they can contribute to the welfare of the group, when they understand that their personal welfare is linked to the welfare of others.
It's my job to keep the class informed when new programs are added to our software library.
I'm on a Helping Hands committee that tries to get older students to help younger students who are having problems.
Our group collected blankets and clothes for people who lost their homes in the hurricane.
I'm actively involved in recycling in the school and the neighborhood.
I'm a member of a friendship circle, and we try to find kids who are by themselves and get them involved with other activities.
Capable, connected, contributing. The building blocks of self-esteem and perhaps the best discipline tool we have for influencing students to begin to think differently. To choose appropriate behavior, not out of fear of punishment, but because it benefits them to do so. Encouragement is not a quick fix, especially in working with discouraged students, but it provides part of the foundation for creating cooperative classroom communities.
Let's look at the part of our code of conduct that says I will treat everyone with courtesy and respect.
Another tool in creating a cooperative classroom is collaboration strategies that give students a voice in decisions that affect them. With a code of conduct, students learn to monitor and evaluate their own behavior and are accountable for their choices all of the time. A code of conduct is not just another name for a list of rules. Rather, the code defines the operating principles for everyone in the class, including the teacher.
Let's look at the part of our code of conduct that says I will treat everyone with courtesy and respect. What is your understanding of what it means to be courteous and respectful? Think about what you would do or say. Is there anyone who would be willing to help jot down some of our ideas?
Oh,
Thanks, Jesse. Come on up. Thanks. Now picture yourselves in your ideal classroom where everybody was courteous and everybody was respectful. What would it look like and what would it sound like? Who has an idea? David.
Quiet.
It would be quiet, all right? Write down quiet. What else? Look into your mind's eye and think about what are you seeing in that classroom? Everybody is respectful. Everybody is courteous. Yes?
Polite.
Everyone's polite. Thanks. What else? Angela.
Respect other people's things.
That's an example of being courteous and respectful. What else?
Peaceful.
It would be peaceful. Nice word, John. Think about when it's peaceful, what does that look like?
There's no behavior that is not covered by the principles that these students have identified as their code of conduct. Students can't justify their misbehavior by saying, "Nobody told me I couldn't do that." The I statements on the code signifies a commitment on the part of the students to adhere to the operating principles.
Unlike rules which some students try to break and just not get caught, the code fosters cooperation and not defiance.
I'm willing to follow the code because I have made it.
Students in our classes are nicer than they used to be, and to the teachers too.
We love to catch a teacher when she does something that's against the code. She always admits it too.
Mark, can you tell me if the behavior you're choosing to do right now is part of our code of conduct?
Well, I guess not.
And what have we talked about doing?
To listen and behave.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna need you to do.
Given the code we agreed to live by, what should I say to you now?
I guess I shouldn't have done that.
What else can teachers do when students violate the code of conduct? They can use any of the intervention strategies for attention, power, revenge, or avoidance of failure. Or they can negotiate solutions through a conflict resolution conference, another collaboration strategy for creating classroom communities.
Conducting teacher-student conferences to resolve conflicts isn't something new. What's different here is that rather than using the conference to impose solutions on students, teachers engage students in a dialogue that invites them to take shared responsibility for resolving the conflict, thus demonstrating faith in students' ability to choose appropriate and responsible behavior.
Tell you what I'm willing to do. Next Monday, you may choose several of your friends and come up with a skit or a play using our vocabulary words. Would that be okay?
Yeah, that would be cool.
Well, let me ask you this. What if your friends decided no? I don't want
Not every misbehaving student, however, will be willing to negotiate with teachers in good faith. Note how teachers can respond to the blocking behaviors difficult students sometimes present.
I stonewall, and I just don't say much.
Do you have any suggestions for solving the problem of your wanting to argue with me every time I give a homework assignment and then you turn your assignments in late?
I don't know.
Come on, can't you think of something? Well, seeing that you're not ready to talk right now, I guess I'm going to have to make the decision. What I'm going to do is lower your grade 5 points every time you argue or you turn in your assignment late.
The last thing most students want, especially those who choose a lot of power and revenge behaviors, is to be left out of the decision-making process. Faced with a teacher ready to take unilateral action, most students will quickly come up with appropriate responses.
I give unworkable solutions, stuff I know they'll never agree to.
Eric, what are some ideas that you have on solving the problem of your arguing with me every time I give a homework assignment and then turning it in late?
I wish you'd just stop giving so much homework.
I'm unwilling to do that idea because it doesn't solve my problem of assigning practice problems and then using the homework to judge where I need to provide review. Do you have any other ideas?
No.
Can I offer you a suggestion that I just heard from Marietta about a couple of minutes ago? She was concerned too about this problem.
Our challenge with unworkable solutions is to reject the suggestions and still encourage the students' continued cooperation in negotiating.
I blame others.
What are some ideas you have about solving our problem about your arguing with me every time I give out a homework assignment and then turning it in late?
Lots of the other kids argue too. Some don't even turn in the stuff at all, so why are you always bothering and picking on me? It's not my fault others cause trouble.
Mike, I hear you, but I'm not interested in placing blame. I'm only interested in solving the problem that you and I are having about the homework.
How skillful students are in implicating everyone but themselves. Oftentimes, they throw up bogus issues like being picked on. Refusing to get sidetracked into such issues keeps the conflict resolution process moving forward.
I get nasty.
What are some ideas that you might have for solving the problem of arguing with me every time I give a homework assignment and then turning the work in late?
I don't know why you're making such a big deal out of nothing. So what if I ask you questions? We have free speech in this country, don't we? Big deal.
Joe, and I'm talking to you respectfully, and I expect you to talk to me in the same way. We'll either search together for solutions, or the conference is over, and I'll decide what happens next. The choice is yours.
The teacher in these examples was never boxed into a corner. In a calm, respectful manner, the teacher kept control of the conversation and invited the student to participate appropriately.
To invite participation and then take unilateral action should the student refuse to cooperate. That's really the extent of our power when resolving conflicts.
Teachers don't have to go it alone. When a student's behavior needs more structured intervention, teachers can take advantage of their colleagues' experiences by pooling their knowledge and sharing their successes to find the most effective combination of intervention and encouragement.
I have had it up to here with Joanna. She's been arguing our assignments all year. She's starting to make insulting remarks, and she's getting a foul mouth, and it's spreading to the other kids. What can I do?
I can tell you're frustrated. It sounds like a power trip to me.
Yeah, when I feel like you do, I know that it's about power and maybe a little revenge with those insults.
So, what do I do when she does this again? Do you have anything that works?
Listen, let's take one misbehavior at a time. Okay. For example, the insults. She does the exact same thing in the media center. I find that humor works with her, and instead of becoming angry at her dumb statements, I merely smile. For example, if she says, "You're a mean teacher," I smile at her and tell her, "Thanks, I try hard," and usually try to do that without sarcasm. However, I also use consequences with her. I let her know that she has to make up the time for those outbursts. I find that that's very effective with her.
I don't know. I don't know if I can be funny when I get so mad. How do I encourage her? How can I help her out?
The insights parents have about what works with their youngster can help us make effective choices for intervention and encouragement. The action plan process follows 4 simple steps. Pinpoint the misbehavior, identify the goal, choose intervention strategies, select encouragement techniques. These steps can form the framework for teacher-parent discipline conferences. During a conference, teachers can help parents create a plan to use at home that reinforces the teacher's efforts in the classroom. The cooperative discipline approach helps teachers establish safe and orderly classrooms by finding effective solutions to classroom disruptions that can lead to violence. Motivates students to choose responsible behavior and apply themselves academically. Involves parents as partners in the discipline process.
Perhaps the hardest lesson I've learned about teaching is that change begins with me. When I gave up wishing my students were different and changed what I was doing, the more my students changed what they were doing. Don't ever underestimate the tremendous power you have to influence students' choices. Teachers do make a difference.